So, here now to give us an update on the case is Andrew's mother, Jill Tahmooressi. Jill, we welcome you here in studio, and we welcome back via Skype from Colorado, former Michigan Congressman Pete Hoekstra, my old colleague who also served as chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Pete, we thank you for staying here with us. And Jill, as we welcome you in this morning, what is the latest on Andrew's case?
Thank you. Well, he had his second evidentiary hearing last Monday, August 4th. However, nothing else is scheduled on the books. So he's literally sitting there stagnant.
Are you able to discern, has there been a change in the treatment he has received in Mexico?
Well, he's not having his life threatened on a daily basis by the inmates and the guards because he is now in an accredited prison, Alango. But I was disturbed by a phone call 2 nights ago where the judge is asking that he be returned to La Mesa, where his life was threatened constantly. So our attorney has put a motion to deny that ability.
Jill, the last time you were here, and it's worth asking again, we asked you if you had heard from the administration, from the President or Secretary of State. Have you yet heard from either of those gentlemen or anyone associated with them?
No, other than the local Tijuana U.S. Consular Services, Andrew Erickson.
Well, Pete, you can recall during our days in Congress, part of what we did, constituent services. Now, with Andrew Tahmooressi jailed in Mexico, what could members of Congress be doing to help free him?
Well, there's a number of things that members of Congress could be doing. Number one, they should be reaching out to Jill and having a discussion with Jill about what Jill would like to see done and what she believes and what their legal team believes would be the most appropriate actions to get the kind of result that we want, which is to get Andrew released. But the options that they could then consider and discuss together is a letter from Congress.
Looks like we're having a little trouble with Pete's Skype, but let me pick up on that, Jill, because given where I served in Arizona, and I know that my former colleague who is back in the Congress, Matt Salmon, has weighed in on this, as has Ed Royce, who chairs the House Committee on Foreign Affairs. But there is something known as constituent services. When we had constituents jailed in Mexico, we would inform the State Department, but we would work directly with the families and to the extent possible with the Mexican consulate to try and free those people. And eventually we actually got quite a number of them freed from different disputes and being incarcerated in Mexico. So let's bring it back home. You call Florida home. Have you spoken with your member of Congress about this?
Well, I know back in July, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz gave me a phone call, and she has signed on to the current House Resolution 620 that's been authored by Representative Poe. However, we need like 350 votes for or 350 signatures for it to go to vote. So we're asking everyone to please call their congressmen and women and ask them to sign on to House Resolution 620. And in fact, Andrew's attorney, Mr. Benitez, has sent out tweets as well, asking the American public to please urge their Congress folks to sign on to H.R. 620.
And of course, you have a website right now where I'm sure you're getting that word out as well. Tell us more about the website.
Well, we have the AndrewFreedomFund.com website, since Andrew is now on his third attorney. But on that website, you'll find news about how you can help, the different petitions that are out there, including the WeThePeople.gov petition, which we've yet to hear from President Obama on, but we're still encouraging signatures. So that is our website, AndrewFreedomFund.com.
To show you the resourcefulness of former members of Congress, though we lost the Skype feed with Pete Hoekstra, he's intrepid enough to join us by telephone. Pete, thanks for rejoining us here. In your absence, Jill was telling us that her Congresswoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, has signed on to the letter about the sense of Congress resolution. But, and we don't want to look askance at a phone call and a signature on a letter, but really this should not be a partisan issue within the Congress, should it?
No, this is something that should be very, very much a bipartisan issue. Republicans and Democrats coming together to help Andrew and get Andrew back home. This is something, one of the few types of issues that the Hill should be able to rally around and demonstrate to the American people that they can get something done.
And while there has been no involvement, no direct involvement from the administration, either the Secretary of State or the President, directly with Jill or her family, Pete, we have the paradox of this Justice Department jumping in to find attorneys for the illegal juveniles who have come to our shores, this influx of illegals, and the Attorney General weighing in with such energy, and the President and his administration weighing in with such energy for those who reach these shores illegally. The contradiction is astounding when you think there's an American Marine stuck in a Mexican jail.
That's exactly right. The administration should be reaching out. They should be reaching out to the government in Mexico and facilitating and doing everything that they can to get Andrew released. But remember, this is an administration that has a pattern of leaving people who are Americans or others, leaving them behind. We still have the Iranian pastor who is being held by the Iranian government, now in a prison that also is housing people that are members of ISIS. We have the Pakistani doctor who helped us achieve one of our greatest successes, which was the identifying where bin Laden was and being able to go in and raid and to kill bin Laden. That doctor is still sitting in a prison in Pakistan. And then you have Andrew in Mexico.
And speaking of Andrew being in Mexico, Pete, as we thank you for your contribution, in the 30 seconds we have left, Jill, please tell us again the website that people can go to find out more.
Thank you. AndrewFreedomFund.com.
AndrewFreedomFund.com. And we certainly hope he gets his freedom very soon, Jill. Jill Tahmooressi, we thank you for your time and for persistence in very difficult times. We heard from Jill, we heard from Pete. What's your take on the continued imprisonment of our Marine in Mexico? We'd love to hear from you. Tweet us your comments at Newsmax TV, #America's Forum.